Hello, welcome to Bergkamp Wonderland. 3 points, 2 goals, a clean sheet, no injuries, no red cards, top of the league. VAR didn't screw us over, Stan. What's to grumble about?
Happy days. I mean, I like this. We've done our business on a Friday. Before everybody else, we can sit back now for the rest of the weekend, and we are top of the league. Say we are top of the league.
Indeed. It's been a while. Can't remember the last time we were top of the league. Anyone got any idea? I don't know why I said that. It's only you and me. Anybody in the chat got any idea the last time we were top of the league? Because me and Stan don't really have much of an idea. Delighted with it. Excellent. Right, let's go and say hello to some of the punters. Just doing a little tweet there because I don't have my usual 30 seconds to go and make sure that I can go and tweet some stuff. Do another one there. Who have we got in the chat then? We have got oh God, just loads of you there. Right, BX Gunner is there. Paul Nell is there. Ray Anderson, lovely, and lots of numbers. Who else? Formerly Noza, Thunder Road, Michael, and Carlito El Guna. Kevin is there. Phil Macker. Ooh, have I missed anybody? Fran is there. Excellent. And
Ray
Useless
Anderson.
Pathetic Noob. What else? I see Michael's double dipping on the Twitch. Love to see that. Mr. Waffles is there. Steve Clark is there. Excellent. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that game because at times I was a little bit worried about how it was going to go, but by the end of it, I was more than happy. How did you feel about the game, Stan, before we start going through the individual parts of the game?
There was a little sort of period of the game, sort of around about maybe 70 odd minutes for a while, where it was going into that. I tweeted out, we're sort of like headed into that squeaky bum time territory, where they were starting to get more back into the game, and we still needed that second goal, right, to finish it off. So I was getting a little bit worried because it's not over till it's over, right?
It is very true. I thought early on it was nice to see us doing so much attacking, and I did wonder how long could this last with all this attacking, playing at their place, which is a notoriously hard place to go. And for, what was it, about 20, 25 minutes, we had the upper hand. I think they only had one slight attack down the left-hand side when that was the battle of the evening, wasn't it? It was Ben White v Zaha. And I think the first 2 or 3 times they did it, Ben White definitely won it. But then as it was going on in the second half, saw Ben White was moaning at Saka to come back and help him a little bit, which is only fair. But then after about 25 minutes, they started to get a little bit of the upper hand, which is worrying because you've got players like Zaha and you've got that other player. What was his name? Not Eduardo was useless. EZE. How do you say that? Eze? Yeah. I thought he looked pretty good. And you've always got Anderson at the back, who is a decent player. So let's go and where are my notes? Take it you made notes of the game, didn't you?
Yeah, I made a little bit of scribble here and there.
Lovely, jubbly. Right, last time Palace lost at home in the league was February 2022. I think they said they ended last season with 6 games unbeaten at home in the league. 3rd minute, sensational, which is the only word for it, run by Jesus, gets past 5 of their players. I don't know if it is 5, I'm estimating because it was so quick. Puts it wide for Martinelli, who at the far left post, and then he decides to have a shot. And from the far left post, he managed to put it wide of the far right post. So from the far post, the near post, put it wide of the far post. That's some effort, isn't it? That's some ability to be able to put it that far wide from that close.
I think Gary Neville said, and actually it was one of the very few times where Gary Neville actually said something that was, didn't sound like it was just falling out of his bottom, that he used his left foot, which is going to sweep the ball away from the goal. Had he used his right foot like what Thierry Henry used to do, he would have had more chance of getting that in. But the movement by Gabriel Jesus to wriggle through and keep control of that ball, that was quite tasty to see. And I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of that kind of, close control in and around the box and making something happen from it.
Indeed, as usual, Stan, if you have any points between the minutes that I have got my points, just shout, "Oi, no, stop right there. I want to make a point." I think I got last night's KFC giving me grief. That's not a good idea, is it? So next one, 12th minute. Partey struggling, lost possession 3 times. Once they tackled him and got the ball off him, and the other 2 times was bad passing. Do you think the way the crowd was booing him, and apparently there was a banner flown over the stadium? What do you know about that?
I didn't know anything about a banner, but I started to notice. I thought to myself, is he getting booed every time he's on the ball? And I started to look out for it, and he was receiving. I don't know if it was from our fans, their fans, who knows, but he was getting some boos when he was getting touches on the ball, which probably made him probably subconsciously made him not want to touch the ball.
Well, you know what an absolute mess Twitter is. According to some of the people on Twitter, without naming names or anything, it was a banner was flying over the stadium. I'm not going to say what the banner said, and it was paid for. This is the bit I find hard to believe, by Arsenal fans.
Really?
No, I'm not going to say anything about that because I don't know. But that's not good if your own fans are paying for that. But that's Twitter. It could be absolute nonsense. There might not even have been a plane. I've not seen photos or anything.
Didn't know anything about that.
But do you think that was putting him off, the constant booming? Because it does often take him quite a while to get into the flow of things, doesn't it?
Would it put you off? Do you know what I mean? It's like, there's the undertone of what they're booing about, right? And I did hear that when I saw a little bit on Twitter that he was being booed by the away fans, and our fans were trying to banter it by singing a song back, which I won't really go into as well.
Probably best not to.
It was basically a play on he does what he wants, but the word "does" was changed, was switched out for something else. So who knows? Do you know what I mean? And maybe there's going to be more of this as the season goes on, because you can imagine that away fans, if they think that they've got a tool in their arsenal, which is gonna, give one of our best players the needle and put him off his game, then they're probably going to use that, I would imagine.
A lot of people in the chat saying, "Oh, Sai, thank you very much for renewing your Twitch membership. Was it a Prime one? Yes, good. That's taking money out of Jeff Bezos' pocket. If you've got Amazon Prime, you can give us about £2 for free once a month. It costs you nothing. If you don't use it, it goes to waste. So I use mine and my brother's, so that's good. And he has used his. Sai has used his. Lovely. A lot of people talking in the chat about how good Saliba is. It's he ended up getting man of the match. That is an absolute dream debut, isn't it? To be able to come in after 3 years, make your debut, run the match, passing the ball around like Franz Beckenbauer in his prime, clearing stuff out. It looked like he'd been playing for Arsenal for a decade, didn't he?
Yeah. Very good start, I thought.
Yes, next note I've got. Have you got anything before the goal?
No, not really.
Go on then, talk us through the goal.
Yeah, basically, it was from a corner, right? I actually missed it the first time around because I was doing something. The cat was messing around, so I had to watch the replay. But I was pleased that it was Martinelli who managed to get a goal, because he's a player that I've been, really wanting to see a lot more from. We know that he's got a lot of skill in his locker, and I think that this could be a really big breakout season for somebody like Martinelli. And it seems now that he's being able to keep that left-hand side on the wing there is becoming his own. That's his area, that's his position now. He's got the number 11 shirt, and it looks like he's the main starter for that position. So it's up to him now to pay that back by assisting and scoring.
I agree. It was nice. So that's Saka taking he's now taking our corners when they are on the right-hand side. So was he taking it with his left foot? I think he must have been. Yeah.
He took that shot with his left foot.
Yeah, so we have a set-piece coach who was on the bench, obviously because he wouldn't be playing, and he took it with his left foot over, like you were saying, and then that's obviously a thing we've worked on. I think they were saying in the commentary that Arsenal have scored either the most or the second most number of goals last season from set-pieces, which is lovely to see, because we've had so many years of not being able to beat the first man. I mean, good God, remember all those years I couldn't beat the first man at a corner.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So Saka gets the pre-assist, Zinchenko gets the assist, and Martinelli gets the goal. So then, yeah, fantastic. Let's see what people said. People, I've just done a little banner there. It says, start your questions with a Q and I will save them for later. I see David's already put one in there. So I'll leave that running for a little bit until you've all got the gist of it. Stefan says, great away performance from the lads. Fran says, my boyfriend bet a fiver that Benjamin would get a yellow card against Zaha and we'd get enough money for a Domino's if that was the case. Cheers, Ben. Great pizza.
Just speaking about Ben White, and this is jumping ahead, I did notice that the man on my television said at around about 78 minutes that Ben White had won the most duels in the game.
Because it was mostly against their only real attacking player. Ellis, as Ellis is here, I'll put his picture up. Top right-hand corner, there's Ellis. Look at him, beautiful bastard. Tell Tallulah we said hello. Ellis says, thoughts on the match. Zinchenko isn't the best at defending. Ben White is going to struggle against pacey, tricky wingers. We need another central midfielder. Odegaard needs to shoot more. Saliba is a beast. Shame you didn't come on and say that, isn't it, Ellis? You absolute swine. Just because you save lives, mate, doesn't mean it's okay. Be expert, Benny Blanco from the Bronx. Is that a real banner or a Photoshop? In the plane, I don't know. I've not seen any pictures. Eze dived for a pen. Should have shown him a yellow. There was a few of those where when Xhaka got his booking, you thought, well, hold on a second. If you're going to give it for that, for an old man falling over, then why aren't you giving it for all their ones that were being twats? Where else? So much stuff. So many of you put in comments in there. Oh, Rudy's got a quote from Big Billy Saliba. It helped me to spend 2 years on loan in France as I'm young. We need to play. Now I'm back and I hope we will make a good season from Sky.
I tell you what I noticed about Big Bill Saliba. You know, on the other team,
that sticks.
they had that player Anderson, who was very good at making passes from out of the back and finding players.
Did a few, didn't he?
I noticed that we had trouble doing that. I noticed that a few times when William Saliba tried it, the ball would either go out of play or it would be, it would go to one of their players. So that was one thing that I did notice about the long passing. And he wasn't the only one. There was a couple of other players that would try a few long passes that they couldn't quite find the player.
Same as with Ramsdale, quite a few times tonight. He took a quick attacking goal kicks, and it would hit one of our players, and then go off that player, and then go out for a free kick or be straight off. And then our players couldn't bring down, do anything with the balls that he was delivering. And I think 3 of them he put straight out for a throw in. So I think they need to work on that.
He did a really nice one. He did a really nice one that worked.
Oh, he did some.
But then there are too many that look a little bit, skittish.
I wonder if he struggles to do it on one side more than the other, because you would think the easiest one for him being right-footed would be down the right wing.
No.
Not that I have any idea. Pete says Saliba is a beast, very hard to drop, Shirley, and stop calling me Shirley. Sorry, Shirley. Carlito says, can't see how Martinelli missed that first opportunity. But his goal made up for it. Phil Macker says, can't decide whether Stan looks more for Yaz tonight.
Okay.
Which is the only way is up, Stan? Then we'll tell if you're Yaz or not.
No, I think he's talking about the other. He's talking about Morph's mate.
His name wasn't Yaz, was it? It was Jazz.
Was it? I don't know. Long time ago.
I thought Yaz is in the singer.
That's funny because someone else compared me to Mr. Bennett quite recently. Remember Mr. Bennett? I don't know how I got compared to Mr. Bennett.
We're back talking stuff about the 70s, and this one don't care.
I know.
Sai says Odegaard was pretty good. Saka and him need to get on the same wavelength, though. Certainly do. What else? Ajit says Saliba, impressive, Big Willie. He came from France and he isn't doing anything silly, at least on the pitch. A lot of people commenting on Odegaard not taking shots when he should be and looking for passes when he shouldn't be, and especially on the edge of our box. A couple of times he did the drag back and the turn, and then he'd have 3 men on him. He can't keep doing that.
He needs to be sometimes a little bit more decisive and just go for the goal, I think.
You're very right. Have I got that unmuted?
That was it. Chaz. Morph's mate was Chaz.
Oh, there you go. I knew it was something. Okay, I'll add Phil's question to the list of stuff. Right, next one I've got up is 23rd minute. Ben White v Zaha. Ben is winning these and has so far got 2 free kicks from Zaha. That was, considering that's not his actual proper position, he was doing all right down there, wasn't he? Against probably one of the most attacking left-wing attackers there is in the Premier League.
Yeah, and as I say, late on in the game, they said that he'd won most duels of anybody on the pitch. So not bad for somebody who isn't playing in the position that I think we originally got him in for. So that's handy, because it seems that who knows how long Tomiyasu is going to be out.
Yes. Next point I've got is 24th minute. Palace resorting to falling over and feigning injury already 4 times in 24 minutes. Pathetic. That did seem to be their game plan, didn't it?
Yeah.
They couldn't get the ball off us, so just fall over a lot.
Yeah. And we're coming up towards when isn't this when Granit got booked as well? For his that's the next thing that I had.
Oh dear, I've got 28 minutes. Ramsdale cleared it right at their player. Oh, tell us about that.
Napping. Yeah, that's what I got written down here. 30 minutes. Ramsdale got caught napping. I hate that sometimes. Sometimes I just think that we pass it out of the back, and then sometimes, but especially when a defender passes it back to the keeper, I hate that. I was like, why are we putting our goalkeeper under pressure? Keep moving the ball forward if you can, or even go sideways, but don't put the goalkeeper under pressure. And he was a bit skittish, Ramsdale, in that moment.
Quite a few times during the game he did that. We saw in the documentary, though, how angry he gets when we don't keep the clean sheet. So maybe he needs to stop. I don't know what the right way to phrase it is. He's a great goalkeeper, but sometimes I think he's trying to be a little bit FIFA.
Composing
and I don't like it.
Be a little bit more composed.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
29th minute.
So straight after he did that in the 28th minute, but yeah, it looked like from the TV angle that it might have gone in, but then when you see the replay from behind the goal, it was miles off. A minute later, Ramsdale again kept the ball far too long, and then he was being shut down by their players. We saw that all the way through the game, that it would be he'd pass it out to Saliba. Saliba would pass it to Gabriel. Gabriel would pass it back to Ramsdale. And then the more they were doing that, the more they were then pressurising everybody, and the more they were struggling to keep hold of the ball. And eventually, we're lucky that nothing come of that, because 3 or 4 times they managed to get the ball off us or blockers, and we were just lucky at that time. I don't know why they keep doing it. It reminded me of Emery when he first came and making us play out from the back, and they couldn't do it. We're putting ourselves under undue pressure.
Yeah, that's just what I was saying, that we pass the ball back to the goalkeeper. But I did think that in that first half as well, that we did look quite snappy at times. We looked really snappy on the ball. It's just like sometimes we were just a little bit off with our passing, which will hopefully come as we play more games. Compared to, we looked so sluggish at times last season, whereas today I thought we actually looked like we had a bit of zip in our game. But yeah, keeping it around the back and playing keep ball at the back always gives me a bit of a heart attack when they do that, because I've seen it happen before. They try all that and the ball goes loose and one of their players is on it like a shot goal.
I find it very, very, very annoying. I get rid of that ticker. It's getting on my nerves. So Lacazette scored tonight for Lyon, scored a penalty and got an assist. Story of his season, last season with us.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Kalito says, wouldn't be an Arsenal game without Xhaka picking up a yellow. He was unlucky with that, wasn't he? That is, we'll come to that in a minute, actually. So Ramsdale there. 33rd minute. Jesus was brilliant. They said he was so ungreedy, always looking to lay the ball off if his run is blocked. He made so many brilliant runs in that first half. He wore himself out, but so often he'd get it, run through some players, and then give it to Odegaard, or he'd pass it back out to the right to Saka. And you're thinking, a player of his quality is bringing other players into the game, and we've had so many times of our striker, or just if it's Aubameyang or Lacazette, they'd run at the goal and have a shot, even if they couldn't if there was no chance of scoring. Already, we've got someone who is bringing our other players, going, hold on, this isn't working. Here, have the ball. We've missed that so much over the years. It
just shows you what we were missing last season, right? Having somebody in and around the box who can be quite decisive as he can. So just hope the goals will come now.
Yeah, like they did in pre-season. Yeah, I was thinking he might have scored tonight. I'll put that back there. Click on this. So Gabriel handball. 34th minute down we were defending. You look at it in slow motion. It's almost like he didn't know where the ball was coming down from. They're both looking up, and the ball comes down and just brushes the outside of his right hand. So that was a ball to hand, not hand to ball, wasn't it? And he didn't control the ball or do anything. It just hit. There's nothing he could have done about that, is it? Good call.
Well, I don't think anyone knew where the ball was. I mean, it literally just like plopped out from the top of my TV screen straight down. So where did that come from? So yeah, good call by the referee and that, not to sort of make more of a meal out of
that. Witty remark on Twitch. Hello to everybody on Twitch. Says it will take time for us to build confidence playing out from the back. Yeah, first game of the season. It does take a while, doesn't it? There's a question there from Pete. I'll save that for
also
later.
As well. You got to think that our back four, which we put out, is kind of like a new back four, right? We've got Saliba there in the mix.
50% of them
not playing. You know, you've got Ben White now who's playing in a different position. And we've got a different left back.
True. Where was I next? Sai says, we played good. Palace is a very decent team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they finished between 6th and 8th. Yeah, they've got some new boys coming out. I think they're just going to struggle to score goals. You can't rely on Zaha every game of the season because he's a bit temperamental, a bit moody. He's a bit of a child as well. Carlito says, keep wondering why Partey was being... just have a look in the page. Have a look at Twitter. It's an absolute fucking car crash. David says, I think we'll get better at playing out of the back. Today, it just looked like they weren't really on the same wavelength. This team can get there. So many positives, David.
And they're still building up understandings, right? As we just said, only Gabriel is the only one there from the back four that we thought that we were really going to be having, right?
Yeah. Kieran is there. Big up, guys. Jamaica in the house. Glad to see UNUH. What does that mean?
Oh, no.
What's that?
It's a Jamaican word. It means basically he's glad to see us. Oh, no.
She.
Glad to see you, basically. It's Jamaican patois.
Oh. Can you play for Jamaica? Did you say that earlier?
I could do if I was any good. And they asked me, but that's never going to happen. Yeah. But
I mean, passport-wise, you'd be allowed to. You could sneak in under some kind of rule.
Yeah, well, my mum's Jamaican, so...
Jamaica, England, and Scotland. There you go. See, I do listen sometimes. Formerly knows it says Mike Dean would have given that. Thunder says, shocking number of likes for 64 watching. First match of the season. Hit the thumbs up. Go on, people. Give the thumbs up a little tickle. How many did we get? I'm just going to go and have a look and see how many that we got for the last show. We got 49. That's pretty good. That's pretty good because I'm thinking the first game of the season.
Especially only 36 listening. So
yeah, exactly. Where were we? Gabriel Hamper. 41st minute, magnificent save by Ramsdale at close range. That was, I think that wasn't one of their blokes put through with or was that later on? At one point I did. Oh no, that was later on. Did well tonight, Ramsdale, didn't he? What rating did he get? He got a 7.2. I think the lowest rating we got of anyone, like you're saying in the chat, Saka got a 6.6, Odegaard got a 6.8. Everybody else who played most of the game was at least a 7. With our, it says here that Zinchenko got an 8.1 and Saliba got a 7.2. Whoever does it for WhoScored.com,
I think about Saka, right? He basically, forced the second goal.
Well, he got a pre-assist and an assist. So, yeah, 7.2. And I think you need to sort your life out. Where are we up to? Rob puts, felt like Odegaard was off the boil at times tonight. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Okay, so have another question there from Pete. Daniel Kupka's there. Hello to yourself. Adele says there, hello, great show, gents up the Arsenal. Hello, you. Here we go. 44th minute, another note you've got. Xhaka booked for diving. Yeah. That was silly. Did he deserve it?
Yeah, I think it was. To be fair, it's not like him though to do that, but it was a bit, it was. I didn't see how he fell over there.
Yeah, he didn't plan it, did he? He didn't go, I'm going to run down there. It seems that I've lost the ball. I'll have a fall over. Bit of a tumble, but shouldn't have been booked for it. Half-time statistics stand. 85% pass success rate, which isn't that high. 55.3% possession, which is good for considering you're away at Palace. 5 shots and 2 were on target, 2 corners, and 17 out of the 25 attempted tackles were completed. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I mean, there were times in that first half where we looked like the home team. We were in control of good spells of that first half. And we go in 1-0 up.
Yeah, I was happy with that. I was very nervous the whole time, thinking something, doing a typical Arsenal. Here we go. Something's going to happen.
Yeah,
we're going to have a penalty given away. They're going to get a jammy goal or something like that. But no, didn't happen. Where are we up to? Here we go. Adil says Eze dived, no yellow. Yeah, people were moaning about that. Before Rob says the booking was daft given Palace got away with it a minute or so earlier. Very true. Rudy's got a quote for us. Arteta on possibly making more signings. We are going to try. There are a few things we have planned.
Nice to hear.
Anybody
I like
you'd like?
hearing about plans.
Anybody you want?
Yeah, I'd like Tielemans to come in.
Yeah, it's possible though.
I mean, the money just sounds, what the asking price is sounds really very reasonable.
Yeah, last year's contract.
I think they're waiting to one of those, gets sort of like near the end of the window, and they say, you want 25 for him, yeah, well, he's 20. I'd be happy, something like that, and hopefully, maybe another forward player, a winger or another forward who plays for the middle. Who knows?
Would have added a different dimension to our attack if we'd have had someone big up front, but apparently Eddie is 6'1". He came on, helped score the goal, so maybe we don't need anybody else.
And also, I agree with what I think it was Carl. I think that said it on the show midweek about somebody who would be like a in the mold of a Giroud player, somebody of that kind of a profile would be good for us to bring in. Give us a little bit more variety if we need something a little bit different, rather than going and just getting another carbon copy of a Jesus.
Very true. Right, where are we? There was a couple of things here. Keysby Knight says couldn't help but worry about the discipline of our defence. Benny Blanco and Granit on yellows gives me the willies. Yeah, it reminded me very much of last season. But there again, when you're playing against one of the best wingers in the country, he's always going to be on the verge of getting a yellow card. Saliba came in and saved the day a couple of times with really decent tackle. There was 2 that I remember when he comes sliding in, which is good. You watched him in France last season for Marseille, and the season before that with Nice, and even with Saint-Etienne before that, that's what he does. Brilliant passing out from bringing the ball out from about, passing it around, and then actually I'm going to go and see how many passes he did tonight. How many passes do you reckon Saliba did?
Well, for me, this is the first time that I've seen him play. I think he played in a friendly once, didn't he, for us? And I think I saw a little bit of that. But this is
he played for the under-23s, one game, and he was miles ahead of anybody. 49 attempted passes, got 46 of them. Okay. Week in, week out at Marseille and Nice a couple of seasons ago, he was banging in 100-plus passes a game and getting 90% pass success rate. I mean, I only probably watched him 5 or 6 times, but then I'd always go and have a look at who scored and see what sort of percentage he got.
Pete, he looks comfortable, and in a way,
very comfortable.
In a way, I mean, don't get me wrong. I miss Tomiyasu, but in a way, if you're looking for any good to come out of Tomiyasu being out, it means that William Saliba has an opportunity to play. He's not hanging around waiting to get an opportunity for his minutes. He's in there now from the get-go, which is good, because if he plays really well and Tomiyasu comes back, then it makes a decision that Mikel Arteta's got to make. And that's the sort of problems that you want your manager to have.
Yep. Good problems. Pete says football. Happy new season, lads. Happy new season, lads. Can't believe we're going to win the league. Delusional gooners. How dare you, sir? Formerly known as Xhaka doesn't deserve the card based on subsequent Palace players' dives. Exactly. Here we go. Save a question there from Calito. Another question to save from Paul Nell. Right, let's move down a little bit. I can't highlight all of your... Amanda is there. Hello, Amanda. My fellow person from the Same Old Arsenal podcast. I think we're doing a podcast on Sunday at 7 o'clock. I'm not sure which of the there's 5 of us, so I'm not sure if Craig is going to go with 3, 4, or 5, but I might be needed. Huh?
Sounds like a formation.
Yeah, like when Chris does it, Chris only wants 3 or 4, so I don't know how many Craig wants, but we're all available. It's really good. Didn't miss it last week, but the week before that we had a really good show. It's really good to be back doing stuff with Amanda, Craig, and Cookie, and Chris, another Chris. Happy New Year, Gooners. Nick, here he is, cheeky monkey. Bloody football, I'm sick of it already. Everybody's saying hello to Amanda in the chat. There's 35 of you watching on Twitter. Hello, people of Twitter.
Right, Twitter.
Live on Twitter. We can't interact with you other than saying hello. Actually, I did make a banner for you people on Twitter. You give me a second and I'm going to go
We're going to fly over an airplane.
There you go. People of Twitter, because you can't interact via anything else, so I've put a little banner up that says, hello to everybody watching on Twitter. We all love you and we need you. So there you go.
Can I tell you something? Talking about loving you and needing you, something that I was when I was on Arsenal fan circle on Thursday. And
how are they all?
Oh, very well, thanks. But we have some people regulars that come into our chat box, and we have some people that ever since from last season, they still want the manager out, and he's not good enough, and this, that, and the other. And I was kind of saying, we've started a brand new season with a clean slate. The manager is not going anywhere. He's not balancing on a precipice. If only we could find a way of getting those people back. If we could get them back on side, because, watching the documentary, you see how much of a big part that the fans play in what's going on. Do you know what I mean? And we are all needed. And I think it's time that we should all sort of say, okay, we can't make any changes now. So there's no point banging on about it, right? Nothing's going to happen. Let's all try and get behind the team. And if midway through the season things are falling apart, we can always come together and have another discussion, right? This is what we do. We have a discussion. We don't, if it's not the land of milk and honey, we don't have to bury our heads in the sands. But for now, why can't we just get behind? I mean, we've started on the right foot. We've won our first game. Onwards and upwards, right?
See, there's people in life, Stan, we both know, there's gooners where they will not go top of the league, 2-0, clean sheet, played well, away at one of the top 5 or 6 hardest away games of the season, and they won't congratulate Arteta or the team or anyone. But then we'll go and draw a game or lose a game, and they'll be straight on it. So they're not happy when we win, and they're delighted when we lose because they've got an agenda. And we all know some of these pricks are driving their Datsuns around in Spain. Moaning because people pulling my parking spot. You can guarantee that the Minge didn't say a damn word to anybody. Amanda says, how do we watch on Twitter? It's Periscope. He used to, Twitter bought Periscope or something like that. So it's the same software, same system, but we just put it into StreamYard and you link your Twitter and then you can click on it and it will do it that way. Talking about Twitch, Witty Remark says, big up the Arsenal fans at the stadium loud. They were hilarious hearing them singing Arteta, wasn't it? And then singing about Vieira, did that for about a minute. And then the Palace fans started singing Vieira's red and blue army. A little bit too late. And Arteta, Vieira didn't even give it a little smile. I think he was pissed off with the defensive performance. And they were unlucky, especially with that second goal. But best team won, didn't it? Let's move on to where are we? Next note I've got is second half. Stan, what's your first note? Mine's 51st minute.
Mine's a free kick, really. Around about 54 minutes.
My one, 51st minute. Another great save from Ramsdale after their play was put through by Zaha, ran through the centre of midfield, put the ball out wide-ish left to the edge of the box through 2 of our players. I think it might have been Odegaard and Ben White. And then bloke ran straight onto it and was 1-on-1 with Ramsdale. What a save that was.
I missed that bit because I had to watch, unfortunately, on a naughty stream. And around about then, it was like messing up and I had to find another link from the
I thought you had someone's password.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was going to watch it on Peacock. That's what I said to you earlier, right? But that game's not being shown now on replay tomorrow, bastards. So I had to find a backup.
Oh, absolute disgrace, Stan. Don't they know you got a bloody podcast to do?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
It's an outrage. Anyway, yes. So it was 1-on-1. The bloke was running towards Ramsdale, and then Ramsdale decided to dive down to his right just as the bloke kicked it and palmed it away. Thought fantastic. Another brilliant save by him. 53rd minute, another Palace attack. White all over him, and Saliba sides in another great tackle clearance. That was when their bloke was in the box, because I thought they were definitely going to get a penalty at some point today. 58. What was your one on the 54th minute?
The free kick by Odegaard that just went slightly wide.
I don't think I made a note of that. Go on.
Well, I just like it that we have someone now that can get the ball most of the time on target and make something happen. I think that's something that we've missed. So I'm glad to see that he didn't have Cedric trying to muscle him off the ball, which he'd done towards the end of last season to keep taking those stupid free kicks. So, yeah, I think he's going to. I think we're going to see him get a few in this season.
Well, we were saying that before the show, weren't we? That watching the All or Nothing, that reminded me of how good he can do a free kick. And you see from his point of view, it looked pretty good. And you see the replay, and it was a little bit too far right. But the rest of it seemed to be on target, which was, we can't really ask much more than that, getting really close. It's not like the old days where we had some players that it would end up in someone else's postcode.
Yeah, or end up in somebody else's, like, hit them in the balls, in the wall.
Story of our life at times. I'm just trying to find a tweet so I can share it. If you're watching in ABW, people, in the WhatsApp group, I'm going to give you a tweet to go and retweet. You better do it. Otherwise, I'm going to come around and slap your legs. Right. Get back to that. Get this one back up there. Good job I've got two bloody monitors, isn't it? Right. So, 58th minute. Jesus down the right. That sounds like a country and western album from the late 1980s. Fumbles the ball past their defender. It's amazing. He's centre of gravity. Just no matter what you do, he still keeps the ball and keeps on running. He probably learned that from Aguero. Slides it across to an on-running Odegaard who takes one touch too many and then misses. Then Jesus puts the rebound wide. Such a waste.
We've seen that so many times before, though, haven't we? We've had so many players that have done that in the past. You know, Odegaard used to have a habit sometimes of doing that, you know, that taking that one touch too many and trying to find that pass when the shot is on. So again, this is something that, you know, the manager has to identify and say to the player, because I think it was an instruction that the previous season Arteta said that he gave to ESR. When you're in the box, I want you to shoot more. And he took on that instruction, and we saw that he got into double figures last season. So I hope that Martin Odegaard gets given the same sort of instruction.
Yeah. So where was that? That was there. 59th minute. Finally, Zaha won, and White got booked for a foul on Zaha. I didn't see that. Did you see it? Was it deserved?
I've got down here that White got booked, but yeah, I think it was, you know, one of those ones where it's like, you know, yeah, it was a fair booking. I don't think it was anything to complain about.
Rudy's got another quote for us. Vieira on the game. We faced a really good. What?
Sometimes with a player like Zaha, sometimes you end up maybe having to take one for the team to stop a move, right?
Yeah, that's at the point where he was shouting at Saka and needed a little bit of help. So Vieira on the game. We faced a really good side who were really strong. In the first 15 to 20 minutes, we struggled to get close to them. Yep, that's what he said. Wake up! I don't know who that's for.
For Martin. Martin, wake up, Martin.
Ray says, a streaming site has bought the rights to bring the Premier League to the Caribbean. Now it's not coming on TV. Bastards. Oh, Nick has done a retweet. I bet he's one of the only ones who... Well, it's nearly 11 o'clock. They'll all be in bloody bed. Wake up, mate, it's falling asleep. You got threatened? No. Leave them. Matt fell asleep on my sofa, and then I spent the next hour balancing things on his head to see how many I could get on his head before he woke up. I had shoes, cups, fruit, and he never woke up. BX says, this is a team that took points from City last season and us, and we just took 3 points in a clean sheet. Exactly, BX. You tell him. Waffle says he doesn't have cable or satellite. You don't need it, do you? You just got the internet. So, Nick, where are we up to? White, 61st minute. A kerfuffle in the box while trying to clear a headed ball in. I think it's from a corner, much like we scored from our one. And it caused carnage, and Ramsdale finally managed to get the ball whilst falling over someone, I think, and then it dribbled out, and we got a free kick. Was it a free kick for a foul on Ramsdale eventually? But yeah, again, I'm having kittens.
My next note was on 77 minutes, but it kind of encompasses what happened between White getting booked and up to that moment. And I've just put down, we're losing control. And that's why I saw, this is when I was thinking that we're getting into this squeaky bum time territory now, where we haven't quite won the game and we're slowly letting them get back into the game. And they're slowly having a little bit more control and being able to dictate play a little bit. And I was getting a little bit worried that, you know, instead of walking away with 3 points, we might end up losing 2.
The whole time I thought that. Even then I thought, no, you mean 1?
No, we lose 2 points instead of 3 points.
I thought you said we might get 2 because
we end up losing. We end up losing 2 points.
I thought, hold on, Stan, think we get 2 points for a draw. In the old days, we used to get 2 points for a win. In my lifetime, do you remember that?
Vaguely.
2 points for a win, and in the continent, you still got 2 points for a win in the 80s or maybe the early 90s.
I still think there should be no points for a 0-0 draw.
Yeah. Well, it encouraged more football. Rudy with another quote. Cheers, Rudy. Arteta says, rightly so. I think he was superb tonight. Mikel Arteta on William Saliba, Big Willie to his mates, being named man of the match.
Oh, he got named man of the match, did he? Fair play to him getting that on his debut. That's not bad at all, is it?
Rob says, White took one for the team. It was a tactical foul and probably justified, but Palace were doing the same with no punishment, so who knows? Kate is there. Sorry I'm late. Hi, guys. My leg's nearly better, Kate. The redness has almost gone. It's pink now. My right leg below the knee now looks like a freshly cooked gammon, which is doesn't smell like one. I sat in a bath yesterday for 2 hours.
I like gammon.
So do I.
Not with pineapple on it, though.
Oh, I do. I do like that. A witty remark says, our press reminded me of a 2015-16 Atletico Madrid were not ready for the full 45 minutes of press this early on. First game of the season, isn't it? Again, they've done us over, given us an away game, first game of the season on a Friday.
Look, just compared to the first game of the season, first game last season. I mean, I know that we had many of our soldiers were down, but I mean, what a way to start. We've done our business now. We can sit back now and just watch all the other games quite casually and relaxed.
So our next game, just looking, is 3 o'clock next Saturday. The one after that is 3:30 the Saturday after, and the one after that is Saturday again, 5:30. No, 5:30, 5:30, and 7:30 on the 31st. So our next midweek game is against home to Villa. But we've got a decent run of games next. We've got home to Leicester, away at Bournemouth, home to Fulham, home to Villa. I reckon we should we could have 5 out of 5, couldn't we?
Could. I mean, there's points on the table there. There's points on the table, but it's all about, for me, is the thing that we really need this season is consistency. That's what let us down last season. There were, those runs, those couple of runs where we missed those. There were 3 games, couple of runs of 3 games where we really messed up. We should have got points.
Petri, I'll save your question for the end. Rudy, Arteta on Saliba's debut. You don't really see that at 21 years old in the Premier League. Fuck, he's only 21, Stan. God, you've got to sign him. Got to get him and Saka to new contracts so they stay, because 2 of our best players. I just love watching Saliba play after seeing him for the last couple of seasons in France a little bit. Just so calm on the ball. It looks like he enjoys the pressure.
And it's good that he's going to be able to, be competition for the other centre-backs as well, It ups their game.
I don't know when the next our first Europa League game is, Mr. Waffles.
Mick says your legs covered in honey. Glazed. Yes. Honey glazed.
Europa League. I've got shortcuts for all of this lot, people. I'm bloody ready. Right, 3rd qualifying playoff round, group stage. The first group stage it doesn't tell me the pissing date. Oh, here we go. First group stage, 8th of September. Stan, you didn't ask. David did. Nick was giving me advice about my leg because he's had the same problem, but his one looked absolutely fucked. Luckily, I put moisturiser on my leg, like a lady. But I got Wookiee hair legs. Jesus, got matted. Like a kid. Gary Neville's scream. Have you seen? There's a new Predator film called Prey.
Oh, is that a Predator film? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I know you meant to refer to those people as Native Americans, but my DNA says I am 0.1% Native American. So I'm going to call them Indians because that's my choice of what I want to be called. So he's taking on the Indians.
Okay.
I'll show you my DNA result. They're my people. I'll call myself whatever I want. It looks very good. And the main person is a woman, and she's not to be fucked with, which is also good. I think after my DNA results, I can claim to be almost every continent on this planet I've got DNA from.
Yeah.
Probably why
I'll start calling you Danny Sitting Bull.
Sitting bullshit. Rob says we could have a great start in the first 5 games. Palace was always a game I was worried about, but we stepped up, so I'm positive for the rest of the games. That's what I like to see, Rob. Well done.
Yeah,
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Mr. Waffles, I'm looking. Mr. Waffles, gracias. Nick says, don't show my leg on the stream yard. No, I don't want to show anybody that. I've deleted it and then I burnt my phone. Rudy with another quote. Mikel Arteta on Jesus will bring, Mikel Arteta on what Jesus will bring to Arsenal. Quote, the fear factor. He's always on your shoulder. The ball is bouncing, that 50-50 ball. That sums up today, didn't it?
Yeah.
And another one, he's never standing still. He's always on the move. He's always ready to act.
That's what we've been missing. We've been missing the number 9 that's on the move and not always stationary in the centre circle.
Waiting for the ball. And he does, and can also comfortably play out on the wings.
Playing as a false 8.
Sometimes in the first half, I noticed he was playing far left and Martinelli would then run up and play a little bit closer up front. Then they'd swap back again and they could swap on the right with Saka. Wonderful. It's like a not moody Aubameyang. Nick says the draw for the Europa League is Friday, the 26th of August.
Okay.
Right. Kafafu pushing 65th minute. Palace are pushing so many forward, yet we still can't break them down. This is looking nervy. 76th minute. Gabriel Mateta go down. I think that's the bit that you covered. First substitution for us. Eddie and Katie on for Zinni and Gabriel.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Kieran Tierney getting some minutes there.
Yeah, so was
Which is a good sign. If it's a good sign, if he's actually being, if he's actually able to run and physically move, then hopefully he's coming back.
That is good. And then I thought Eddie coming on. Normally you'd have thought Eddie coming on not going to do much, but I thought Arteta knows what he's doing. And then 84th minute, Stan scored. Yeah.
Well, it was Xhaka whips the ball in, and it was like a forced OG, wasn't it, by their player, Nketiah, or however you say his name.
I didn't even write his name down. I didn't try.
I don't know how you say his name, but it was an own goal, but I'll still take it. It was forced, so that's what you wanted to shut the game down. We could all sigh. I think someone put on Twitter responded to my tweet about going into squeaky bum time territory. Somebody responded with like, "Bums can now relax."
Untense. But it was like you're saying, great ball from central midfield. Eddie got the ball, started running, put it wide to Saka, which Saka had done about 4 or 5 times in the game. I sometimes think that he waits a little bit too long. He takes too close to the byline before he does anything with it. He whipped it across, like you said, and then that bloke leant forward to clear it and put it in the back of the net. And I thought,
yeah.
I could have done that a little bit earlier, made everyone a little bit happier, but can't argue with that. Very happy. Then a minute later, I nearly called you Fran. I'm calling you a different name every 5 minutes, Stan. I nearly called you Fran. Fran's not even here.
That's all right, Keith.
That's all right. Cheers. Another good chance straight away. Good work from Saka and got a corner. Another great chance to score there, wasn't it? With Saka working brilliant. No, who was it? Was it Jesus ran down? I think, the ball came between 2 of their defenders and Jesus got it. Bit of a couple ran down and then he slid it across to Odegaard. Was that the one? I think.
Okay, this is where I have to confess now that I kind of nodded off for like 6 minutes
Well,
at the end. I don't know how or why. I just nodded off. The next thing I remember was Ian Wright talking.
and
then I got on my phone and thought, I better not have missed another goal. And I had to double check the score just to make sure it all was what it should be.
I did that last night. I sit in bed, I pull the duvet.
Like 6 minutes.
I pull the duvet up around me. I have the back of the bed all the way up like that, and I sit there and I slowly drift off like that. And I started watching Voyager from episode 1 again, and I think I missed the last 10 minutes of episode 2. So it's nearly 7 a.m. by that time. So no wonder. Yeah. So it was the two players. The ball came over, and as usual, Jesus managed to turn them inside out, got the ball, and then ran down, or Saka, one of the two of them, and then they put it across. And I think Odegaard took too long. I might have been mixing it up with another one because I was losing the will to live because I needed a wee.
No, that already happened with Odegaard.
Okay, well, so this one, what I've put is another good chance, good work from Saka, and got a corner. So I was thinking of the wrong bit. Good job you're here. 91st minute, Odegaard off for Lokonga. Odegaard give the armband to Xhaka. In the documentary, I think it said that Xhaka was the people's champion, the people's choice, the locker room's choice to get the armband to be captain. And so that was nice to see because I do like Xhaka. I know some people hate him. Yes, so lovely to see. And then that was the end of my notes. You're getting a little bit of grief here from Elite Sports Racing. Did Stan even watch
6 minutes, man? Do you know what I mean? I'm getting old.
I mean, it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon there, isn't it, Stan? So it's not easy.
And had a late night last night as well, so I'm a little bit, yes. I was playing a boxing game for much longer than I should have been playing it for.
Oh, what game was it?
It's an old one, EA Fight Night Championship, but it's in the Game Pass store, and it's one of my favorites. So I just reinstalled it.
Do you skip the training, or do you do the training?
No, I do the whole thing, man. Because you got to build up your player. You got to give them the points and that to build up like the different things that they can do, so they can stay competitive.
Haymaker. That doesn't work. I get knocked out because I have no patience. Nick says Man United away, Europa, Everton. Oh, run of games. Yeah, I see. Right, so we've got a few questions. Stan, have you got time?
Yeah, of course.
Don't need a little snooze.
Seeing as I didn't like watch the game or give any kind of match report, I suppose I better answer some questions.
Oh dear. Let's do another little tweety poo. Lovely. Right, first question from David. It says, could the commentators have mentioned our start to last season a little bit more? And should the next pundit that mentions Brentford be punched in the ding-a-ling?
Yes, they should be punched definitely in the ding-a-ling. But I have to say that the commentary that I had is, when I woke up at the end of the game and was listening to Ian Wright and the people in the studio, they were being quite complimentary about Arsenal, But as I've always said, I like it when people dog on Arsenal. I like to use that as us against them mentality. I actually like it when they say that we're shit and they start to bring up the bad stuff about last season. Keep doing that because I think it makes you stronger. I actually get worried when they start complimenting Arsenal. I think, okay, what are they up to?
So they're just tickling us and they're gonna slap us with the other hand. Phil has got a question. What the feck was ref doing in the 75th minute, letting play carry on for Zaha, then awarding a free kick because we won the ball back? I think that was down the left-hand side. I think Partey came across and shoulder barged him, and then he carried on running, and then Saliba slid in with a magnificent tackle. And then they went, no, come back. That was a free kick. You think, hold on, you cheeky fucker.
You gave him an advantage, but then the advantage wasn't enough in his eyes, I suppose. Yeah. I don't know. Either give the advantage or you stop play.
One or the other, not both.
Yeah.
Good. All right, Pete Colson says, be careful. The Partey booing. How damaging is this? I will respect if you do not answer, by the way. But we've got to be very careful, but we are. The Partey booing, I think that could be a problem because it's going to happen everywhere.
Maybe like on The Simpsons, they weren't booing; they were just saying "boo earns."
Possibly, it won't happen at the. If they do it at the Emirates, I think the Arsenal fans will just drown it out. But it is a difficult thing to talk about, but I think long term it could cause a problem because he is a bit of a sensitive soul, isn't he? He does. You think a player of that experience, captain of Ghana, that amount of money he's cost, won stuff in Spain, and he comes there and it takes him 25 minutes to get into the game, and yeah, it's a bit worrying.
I just think that, you know, fans will always use whatever they can, whatever they've got at hand, to try and, you know, make the opposition put them off their game. So, so what I'm basically saying is that I don't think it will go away, you know, overnight. We're just going to have to see now how he manages it as an individual, I suppose.
Yes, I think you're right. I'm just going to go and I can get rid of this window, that window, and this window, and that one. And that one. You got rid of all my windows. I've got to go and get the preview. Kind of go and show people. Oh, fucking adverts. Oh, I'm not going to shop at ASOS. Go away. Right, pause that. I'm going to go down and see how many people actually did bother to do a prediction. Right, so get rid of that question. Oh no, did we answer that one? Oh yes, I did.
My prediction was 2-1. So I'm actually glad that we managed to keep a clean sheet. And I'm sure Aaron Ramsdale is happy about it, seeing his reactions on the documentary.
Yes. Kalito Elguna, Saliba or Benny Blanco when Tomiyasu gets back? Yeah, good one. What do you reckon?
Well, you know, I don't think he's going to be coming back in the immediate future. So we're going to hopefully get to see a couple more games to make a better informed decision. However, you know, take your hat off to Saliba playing his first full debut game for Arsenal and getting man of the match. You know, that's what a start.
Yes, it was. Next with Paul Nell. Would Tommy have done a better job against Zaha than White? Thought we had more worries on Zinchenko dealing with AU.
No, well, as I said earlier, the man on the telly said that White had the most won the most duels. So again, as I say, you know, when Tomiyasu comes back, it might not necessarily mean that he walks back into that position, because this back four that we have at the moment, they may start to put some good things together, so good run of games together, and start working well as a unit. It will give the manager a headache, and the right kind of headache.
Very true. Yes, right kind of headache. That's the important part. Get rid of this one. This one is from Kevin A. Will Arteta keep picking Odegaard? I don't agree with this. If his form doesn't improve, he was the worst player tonight. White at right back wasn't ideal. More Odegaard question. Not his biggest fan. Come on.
Well, he's the captain for a start, so
yeah,
I think you'll find that he's going to be featuring quite a lot. And I don't think that he was the worst player tonight. Yes, he could have taken that shot instead of looking for a pass, but you know, I thought he had a good game. I don't think he looked. I didn't think he looked out of place or our worst player. He's a club captain now, so you're going to have to warm to him.
For him to be at his best, he relies on the two men behind him, Partey and Xhaka, doing their job, so he doesn't have to keep going back and tracking back and getting the ball, which he had to do a lot of tonight. Go back and help defend him, because Xhaka is not the greatest at it, and Partey was off his game for most of the game. I'm not a massive fan of Partey. I don't like his. I don't know. It takes so long. It's like an old car. It takes ages to warm him up. And I was keeping a note of how many times he gave the ball away. He went for a stage of about quarter of an hour in the second half and gave the ball away 3 times. So just shitty passing, holding onto the ball too long, getting the ball taken off him. You know, for the amount of money he's cost, he's really not been value for money. Occasionally he'll have great games. And you think, well, why don't you do that all the time? But who bloody knows? Final question, I think, is from Petri. Says, why was it so hard to get the build-up play flowing? Yeah, good question.
I thought we got the build-up play flowing pretty good in the first half, but in the second half, there was that period, sort of like from around late 60 minutes on to late 70s, where we weren't dictating the game at all. But you got to remember as well, right? You know, we were the away team, So, if you look at it through that optic, I thought there were really good spells in the game where we actually looked like the home team. And there were so many times last season where teams were coming to the Emirates, and if you just landed and turned the TV on from space and you'd never seen football before, you'd think the away team was the team at home. The way that we were playing so meek at times.
Yeah.
Overall, I was very happy with what I saw today.
Nothing to grumble about. Individual little bits, but you can't have everything all of the time. Doesn't work.
First game of the season. That the first game of the season. I think we've given a good account of ourselves. We can only get better.
Indeed, and I think we do need a couple of players possibly, because Martinelli tends to be brilliant for half an hour, and then the rest of the time he struggles because he seemed to give so much early on in the game, and he terrorises them. Like a little yappy terrier, wears himself out, and then spends the rest of the game going, fucked. Matt D'Souza says, I liked Eddie's introduction, exactly what we needed. Brilliant substitution. Cheers, Paul.
Thanks for watching.
Yes. Cheers, Petri. Right, I think we're done, Stan. That's an hour of your life you're never going to get back. 48 minutes in the last one. 2 hours of your time today I've stolen.
So, it's been a pleasure. It's the first day of the season. It was good to do the pre-show and bring the season in and chat to you and the guys in the chat box about what we thought was going to happen. And even better, to come back after the game. And we can, as I say now, we can sit back and watch the other games at our leisure. We can sit there like Blofeld with a white cat on our laps, just sitting there, stroking away, without a care in the world, because we've done what we've had to do now. We can relax until the next game.
Very true. Yes, they're all. Yes, a tappy would be good. Thank you very much to Arsenal4029 for following us. Thanks to Sai for resubscribed with his Prime. Thanks to Paul J70. Followed us on Twitch a couple of days ago. Thanks to I actually got 10 new followers on YouTube in the last few days. Amazing. Okay. Nice to see. Right, so Stan, where can people find you if they can't see your username on the screen?
You can find me at Stan_the_man68, and you can catch me on Thursdays and sometimes on Sundays on the Arsenal Fan Circle with Ray, Gary, and the rest of the lads. And I pop up sometimes on The Trip and a few other places. So thanks for having me. Looking forward to the next game, and the only thing that is left for me to say is Berdum-num. If you were watching earlier, you'd know what.
I wonder if anybody went and did it. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to go and share my screen and have a look at the predictions. So I need to go to a Chrome tab, go to this one, and share. Can you see that, Stan?
I can.
I put. There we go. That's me. I put Palace 2, Arsenal 3, Zaha. I was wrong, but we won. Mark Backridden put 1-2, Arsenal, Odegaard, first goal scorer. Wrong. And then Nick put 4-1, Jesus, first goal scorer. Saliba, late red card. Fucking hell, Nick. And Paul Nell put oi oi. So only 2 of you freeloading scumbags could be bothered to do that. So
we ain't doing it again.
Shameful. Don't do it now. Don't do it now. Too late. You've ruined it for everybody. So, Trevor sub tonight. I thought I already had. So push the bell to see all posts. Yeah, I personally don't push the bell ever because I don't want to be disturbed. But if you want to know when we're live, quite often if you press the bell, YouTube will let you know. But YouTube doesn't always do what it's meant to be doing. Dave said he was late. He was working. Nonsense. Making bloody instruments, no doubt. Cheers, Rob. He said he enjoyed the show. Well, what else is there to do? So we will be back on. I think Chris wants to do a show on Monday. I did last season's predictions. There was 2 shows. I edited them and put them down to a 19-minute show. There was 8 of us doing predictions. I might release that over the weekend. I plan to do a show just talking about who's gone on loan and where they've gone and what divisions and stuff like that. Because I think we've got about 14 players out on loan. That'll only be a 20-minute show. It'll end up being fucking half an hour like it usually is. Other than that, we will be back, like I said, Chris, on Monday or Tuesday. And we're going to do a little show know about the All or Nothing. Most of our lot, I've watched it already. That's Rob said he made a prediction, and he is not a freeloader. David said he's made a prediction. I won't make a prediction. Anyway, I'm waffling now. Thank you very much for your time today, Stan. You have been effervescent.
Cheers, mate. Always a pleasure to come on.
Thank you. And I'll see you a lot later. Goodbye. Up the Gunners, top of the league, Stan.
Birdie num num.